Yes, who wouldn't be happy?
Of the Hawks' 8 goals. In very heavy conditions, it was the Hawks away first when Jason Dunstall marked strongly for a goal, breaking Peter Hudson's club record. Chris Mews suffered a heavy knock, but it didn't stop Hawthorn. Best and fairest winner Ben Allen ran in for another goal before the West Coast replied through first game of Matt Clappe as he snapped truly. 2 more marks and goals to Dunstall saw Hawthorn up by 24 points at quarter time. In the second, the Eagles hit back. Sumich booted 3, 2 coming from free kicks, but this was a gem.
Pretty good.
Matera took on and beat half of Hawthorn for this goal, and there was nothing in it.
And bombs it through for a goal to the Eagles.
2 more from Dunstall, though, saw the Hawks only by 8 points at the break.
Pull it round his body and bang, kick another one.
Jarman took a screamer at the start of the third, but it was all West Coast. Lewis snapped a beauty to get them away, and when Peter Wilson slammed through another, Hawthorn looked flat-footed.
He wobbles it over the line.
A doubtful goal to Sumich, which appeared to hit the post, added to the Hawks' woes, but they sank even further in the mud moments later. Turley ran into an open goal to put the issue beyond doubt, the Eagles by 14 points. The Hawks' finals hopes looking dim at best. And at Princes Park, Fitzroy won the Battle of the Co-Titans with a strong 19-point victory over Carlton. The Lions rebounded from last week's 10-goal loss to Hawthorn to keep in touch with the 6. Wheeldon and Fleming each kicked 4 for the Lions, while Welsh booted 6 for the losers. Matthew Brooks reports.
Rowan Welsh continued on his good game last week by booting the Blues first. But when Jim Wind replied, the Lions led by 1 point.
He kicks the goal to put the Lions in front.
Welsh goaled again after this great mark.
Go high, Welsh caving down, Welsh over the back.
In the second term, Dale Fleming, playing just his second league game, scored his first goal. Fitzroy to within 5 points. When Craig Bradley was felled, the Blues answered in the best way possible, when Spalding goaled for his side.
From about 40 metres, and he kicks the goal.
That gave Carlton a 15-point break, but goals by Cormack and Roos late in the term got the Roys to within a kick of Carlton.
The centre-half back is on the goal-scoring list.
In the third, 3 quick goals by the Blues, capped off by Gleeson, gave them a 15-point break.
Fantastic hand pass to Gleeson.
But as had occurred throughout the match, the Roys replied. Roos booted their 4th in 5 minutes. The Lions by 8 points at the third break, and in the final quarter they went into overdrive. This miraculous goal by Seacamp, one of 4 the Roys kicked as they ran out winners by 19 points.
St Kilda continued its winning way against Richmond at the MCG today, despite being without an injured Tony Lockett after half-time. Before suffering a leg injury, Plugger kicked 7 goals. In the second half, the Saints' spearhead was Stuart Lowe, who finished the match with 8 as the Saints chalked up a 49-point win. It took the Tigers only a minute to open the score. Waitman handballing to Smith, but the Lockett show dominated the first term, with his teammates delivering the ball to perfection. The fourth, an absolute beauty. Lowe had to wait until the early minutes of the second quarter for his first touch, but successive majors gave the Saints a 4-goal lead. Richmond lacked a good forward, Waitman trickling one through, while Lockett's brute strength gave him 7 goals to half-time. However, a leg injury forced him to take no further part in the game. Lowe, though, filled his spot, kicking 4 goals in a brilliant quarter. In fact, the Saints booted 8 to set up an unbeatable lead. The Tigers had struggled to score all day. The last 30 minutes did belong to them. Naish had plenty of steam left, while Francis also showed a lot of courage. Lowe kicked his 8th just before the siren to give the big man his highest ever personal tally. To the ladder now, and the Eagles are...
Terrific play here. Let's have a look at the mark again, Robbo. Oh,
it's a fantastic grab by Darren Jarman.
So the play goes on after that behind to Hawthorn. Scoring very, very difficult in this third quarter. Hart on the outer side. Langdon in the middle. Drops it and one will swing back onto his left foot. No, gets it across to Evans, back to Kemp. Turley trudges through that heavy spot on the outer side. Then chips, probably only 15 metres or so. Platten tries to lock it in, then looks for Morrissey. Lewis back on the ground, always dangerous even if he is slightly injured. He's bundled out of that contest. Condon.
Because they did make, terrible mistakes.